fresh to death, and you ain't nothing less. You're fresh to death, and you ain't nothing.
Yo, what you doing, man? What you doing, man? What I told you? What I told you? I can't eat that, man. We just get for training. I've been driving behind you for 1 hour. You can't stay committed for 1 hour?
I'm trying.
You trying what?
I'm trying.
How you gonna lose weight? How you gonna lose weight? You gotta stay committed, man.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go ahead and take a quick look at some options that we can do for our midday meal just to give us a little bit of variety. So I'm giving you one that I've started to use recently. Again, we're going to go through a couple of different ones in these segments just to make sure that we're given options as far as our diet plan to make it, more interesting and not, the usual like a salad. I mean, salads are good, but still. It can't only be salad, right?
What's the matter?
This is killing me.
Because you had to eat salad.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is start with our tuna. So this is going to be in water. I try not to actually use any kind of vegetable oil tuna, just to kind of cut down on the calories that we're using. Alright, now we're just going to drain the water. Alright, and then we're just going to put the tuna to the side while we go ahead and prepare the vegetables. Okay, so the next thing we use is just a standard yellow onion. And now we want to go ahead and cut it into little cubes. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is just use a little seasoning to just give it some flavor. That's usually the best thing to do. I'm not a real big fan of just popping open the can and then eating the tuna that way. So just to spice it up a little bit, we'll go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning to this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to use is garlic. I don't really measure it out. I kind of just do it to taste. Everyone's a little different, so just season it to your satisfaction. Alright, the next thing we're going to use is lemon pepper. I usually find that using some type of lemon flavor with fish kind of brightens the taste, so I personally prefer that. Alright, and another thing that I use on my tuna is actually some dill weed. It actually is really, really good with any type of seafood, really. I also use basil leaf. And lastly, just to give a little spice, and spice does help in weight loss, I do add in some crushed red pepper. And also to continue, again, I use a tiny bit of lemon juice. Again, this just helps out with the lemon pepper, since sometimes I feel like I don't taste it as much. And just a couple of drops, not a lot. Alright, so now that we have all this put together, I do use a little bit of mayo just to go ahead and, give it some moisture, because I always feel like the canned tuna is a little dry when you first open it. But the only thing I will suggest is to use a minimal amount of the mayo because mayo does come with a lot of calories in it. So again, we're trying to stick to healthy choices, so we want to just cut down on the amount of calories that we're intaking, even though we are using mayo. I know that there are different substitutes that you can use. I personally do not use them because I don't like them, but that is up to you. Do what you will. This is really just, again, an idea on some things that you can use to make some variety in your diet. So now we just mix that up and make sure you just mix in the seasoning well. I may or may not add more onions because I love raw onion, so that's really up to you. I know some people don't like onion at all. You can try to use like green peppers and things like that just to give it a little crunch, but that's really again up to you on what you like to do. Alright, so now that we have gone and finished the tuna, I do like to put a couple things on top of that. Give me a couple of different textures when I'm eating the tuna. So what I do is I actually use some cherry tomatoes. So cherry tomatoes, I typically hate tomatoes. And really one of the things that I'm trying to do is try different things, especially things that I typically would not eat. Because a lot of these things I don't eat usually have some nutrition in them that I'm trying to incorporate into my diet to help with the weight loss. Alright, so now what we go ahead and do is we just cut them into quarters. I just use 2 cherry tomatoes and then I just cut them in half, then right down the middle again. And now we're going to go ahead and start putting our wrap together. Alright, so now that we got everything diced up, we're going to go ahead and start putting everything together. So the next thing I do buy is a head of romaine lettuce. Romaine, because a lot of the time it's because of the shape, and also romaine is pretty sturdy when it comes to adding things onto it. So we just place our piece of romaine lettuce right in the center of the plate, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is scrape all of this tuna into the lettuce, and we do it just right down the middle. Alright, so next, what I do is just put the cherry tomatoes right on top. Then I start putting on the finishing touches. And that would be a pinch of salt, a little more basil. Just to top it off, we use dill. Alright, so this is our tuna wrap. But me personally, I do like having a little bit more because I know I want to feel like I'm actually satisfied with my meal. So what I go ahead and do is I put this to the side, and a good thing to have with this is going to be a pickle. So I usually just take a whole pickle since it's usually more affordable to get them in the larger jars instead of the small ones that are already pre-cut. And you are going to go ahead and just cut these on the sides, right? And then right down the center, and then right down the center again. Awesome. So now we just go ahead and place them on our plate. And we are done.